The Value of Emotion in Evolution by Annie Besant, read by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. The value of emotion in evolution. Emotion is the motive power in man, and to turn it into a helper in evolution, we must utilize it to lift and not allow it to degrade. The ego, in his evolution, needs points to draw him upwards, as says H.P. Blavatsky's Voice of the Silence, for the upward way is steep, and an attractive object above us, towards which we can strive, is an aid impossible to overestimate. Only too often we lag on the way and feel no desire to proceed. Aspiration is inert, the longing to rise has fled. Then may we summon emotion to our aid, by twining it around some object of devotion, and thus gain the impetus we need, the lifting force we crave. This form of emotion is what is often called hero worship, the power to admire and love greatly one who is nobler than oneself, and to be able thus to love and admire is to have at disposal one of the great lifting forces in human evolution. Hero worship is often decried because a perfect ideal is not possible to find among men living in the world, but a partial idea that can be loved and emulated is a help in quickening evolution. It is true that there will be weaknesses in such a partial ideal, and it is necessary to distinguish between the heroic qualities and the weaknesses found in conjunction with them, but the attention should be fixed on the heroic qualities that stimulate, and not on the blemishes that mar everyone who has not as yet transcended humanity. To recognise that the weaknesses are of the not-self and are passing, while the nobility is of the self that endures. To love what is great, and to be able to pass over what is small, that is the spirit that leads to discipleship of the great ones. Only good is gained by the hero worshipper from his ideal if he honour the greatness and disregard the weakness, and on the hero himself will fall the karma of his own shortcomings. But it is said, if we thus recognise the nobility of the self in the midst of human weaknesses, we are only doing what we should do with all. And why make a hero out of anyone in whom there is still any human weakness? It is because of the help our hero gives us as an inspiration and a measure of our own achievement. No ordinary person can be turned into a hero. It is only when the self shines out with more than ordinary lustre that the inclination to hero worship arises. The man is a hero, though not yet superhuman, and his weaknesses are but as spots in the sun. There is a proverb which says, "No man is a hero to his valet de chambre," and the cynic reads this as meaning that the most heroic man owes his greatness to distance. But is not the meaning rather that the valet soul, intent on the shine of a boot and the set of a necktie, cannot appreciate that which makes the hero, having naught in him that can sound sympathetically with the notes the hero strikes? For to be able to admire means to be able to achieve, and love and reverence for the great is a sign that a man is growing like them. When emotion is thus aroused, we should judge ourselves by our ideal, and be ashamed to do or think aught that would bring a shade of sorrow over the eyes of him we revere. His presence should be with us, as an uplifter, until, judging ourselves in the light of the great achievement, we find ourselves also beginning to achieve. That the pure light of the self shines through none who walk the miry paths of earth is true, but there are some through whom enough light shines to lighten the darkness, and to help us to see where to plant our feet. It is better to thank and honour these, to rejoice and be glad in them, than to belittle them because they are not wholly of heaven, because some touches of human weakness still entangle their feet. Blessed indeed are they who have in themselves the hero nature, and hence recognise their elder kin. For them waits the open gate of the upper reaches, and the more they love, the more they honour, the swifter will be their approach to that gateway. No better karma comes to a man than to find the hero who may bear him company to the entering. No sadder karma than to have seen him in an illuminated moment and then have cast him aside, blinded by an imperfection he is outgrowing.